Welcome to Heaven on Earth. This is a Sunday School creation series, and this is video number 3. Why does God, how God creates in the physical, the first universe. Okay, I'm bringing this knowledge to you because I spent hours and hours and hours meditating for several years and learned a lot of things and figured out how to slip into the quantum and bug daddy. God. We all have our own creator. Everybody that's here has a creator. They gave their 2 cups. So that's your daddy. And the earth is your mommy. And because you wear her shell. And your daddy puts the insides in and your mommy's on the outside. Okay? And that's how we're the divine children of heaven on earth, having a human experience. The Bible is no longer accurate with the words that Christ spoke. Christ spoke, honor thy divine heavenly Father and thy divine earthly mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth. And we lost a few words over the centuries. It's okay, it's close. But if you read the Bible and you feel like there's so much truth in it, and yet parts of it completely don't resonate with you and or caused you great pain and suffering in your life, I want you to know that the Bible there's truth in it, but there's a lot that's been lost and changed and altered over the last 2,000 years. And just honor that. Love it for the truth that's left, and seek the truth in the universe, and the universe will tell it to you. Because like I said, I spent hours and hours and hours, years, meditating. And God showed me this a bunch of times. Now, if you can imagine, like, you're a 2-year-old in heaven, you have a hard time focusing and paying attention. God's like, I'm going to show you how I create a universe. And God's like, wow, did you see it? And you're like, oh, butterfly. He's like, okay, I'm going to show you again. Try to pay attention. Okay, ready? So here we go. Yeah, I know it's fast. You gotta watch. You gotta watch. Oh, grasshopper. Okay, all right. I'm going to show it to you again. All right. So, it's not for lack of number of times that I've seen God create a universe that I know for a fact that he does it and how he does it. Because he showed it to me a bunch before I really understood what he was doing. And I would ask, I asked questions, and they showed me the code, the programming, the mathematics. And I say they because it was a group project, even though only one God ran the program all by himself the first time. It was just one God that created. And what I can tell you is they run a bunch of programs that are like code, like a computer program. And they have now, at the time, they just created a basic framework, a basic structure to cook the God consciousness down into solid form and run it through a series of processes and then output the output on the other side. It was a very simple, basic program. And all it really produced was slime. That's what God says. He's like, slime, algae. But it was the most advanced life. And God was able to put his own consciousness inside something that was separate from himself and grow it. And it grew exponentially. Okay, it wasn't like he put one in, he'd get one out. He put one in, he gets 1,000 out. It was like, holy wow. Okay, And so I have to tell this story to you three ways. One, I have to explain it, the math and science of it. Two, I have to explain what it was like for him. And three, I have to explain what it was like for other gods. So this might be one of the longest videos of the series. Okay. But essentially, you have a being that is very, very, very high vibration. And because they didn't know all of what would happen, the first thing they created around the god was protection for the rest of heaven in case there were any problems. Okay, that was literally the first part of the program. The second part, he already had everything ready. Okay, he had all the God consciousness. The program was written, okay, of how much God consciousness he needed to create a certain amount of mass, and how he would cook it down. That process was written in there, and then how he would get it back. And cook it down in a physical, get it back out of physical, and how much God consciousness he had that he could run through the program. And so the equations were all written. He knew how much God consciousness would go into what's called the framework part, and how much God consciousness that is the growth additional part that is also going to be added in. And so he had like a kitchen recipe. He had the recipe, the program was all written. He had all the God consciousness that was going to go into the framework, all the God consciousness that was going to be put into the program as it grew. And step one is you create a void. Okay, you have to create a space for it to happen. And as that happens, literally, it's simultaneously, as the void is created, all of the God consciousness that's going to be converted into the framework of the suns, the planets, the black holes, us, our bodies, okay, everything that's part of the framework side of the equations falls under certain programming, and it all enters the same moment the void is created. All of that God consciousness enters that void. Okay, and then it cooks down into solid, and then he has stars and planets, and there were some molecules that were made, and he did grow life, but it was very, very basic. Plants, maybe one-celled things. They didn't put any kind of programming into the first universe to develop the physical life forms on the planets. Okay, they didn't know what to expect exactly. They honestly didn't know what exactly to expect. It was their first time. So they ran the whole program. They made slime. The program was on a time. When it finished, it collapsed back into itself, and the whole program shut down and went back into the God. And the first universe had been experienced. Okay, now I want you to understand that every God in heaven experienced it with him. Superficially, just like every cell in your body experiences every other cell of your body. They're all connected. Okay, heaven is very much like your body. A billion trillion cells in your body, okay, all doing their own thing, and yet all working together to make your body function. when the first universe was had, and experienced, everyone else in heaven was aware that they were doing this thing and how it turned out. And there was a lot of joy and excitement and expansion in heaven. Everyone was overjoyed. Number one, that it worked. Number two, it didn't blow up heaven. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. They wouldn't have allowed it. But I do believe they kind of had to, get permission, because they were doing something that was unknown in certain ways. Okay. So the first God created the first universe, and everyone in heaven was overjoyed. And they created slime, and they saw all the potentiality of it. And the second part of the programming and framework comes into being, and I use the word karmic ride. It is the karmic ride. It's like levels of a video game that the universe goes through that allows for the growth of the God consciousness within the program. And just like a video game, you get different challenges on different levels. There's different adventures or side quests, and you can get weapons and or magical objects, learn new spells, get new abilities. Okay. And so you go through and you have different bosses that you have to, challenges that you have to face, and until you get to the top level and defeat the top challenge. And Jesus Christ, our beloved brother, did that. Okay, now that wasn't his first life. That's the thing we have to understand, is Christ taught many lives. It was the foundation of his teachings. And accidentally all got taken out. Oopsies. Yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe on accident. So that's a subject for a future video, but just be aware that many lives is literally part of the program of the universe for us to develop and grow, and that having one life and going to heaven is like sending a kindergartner to school for 1 year and being like, okay, you know everything you need to know, go away now. You're all grown up. Okay, so heaven was thrilled. The next part of this, and I'm gonna record it separately. The next video is the first universe from the perspective of the God that did it, because it was amazing for him. I love you, my brothers and sisters, my fellow godlings on this planet. My goal with this channel is to help create heaven on earth and bring divine truth, knowledge, and understanding to our minds and hearts, so that we can understand the law of love and create heaven on earth, as above, so below. That's all heaven wants us to do, is live our most beautiful life in love and peace and joy and harmony, and treat all of our brothers and sisters, the fellow godlings from heaven, with respect and love, patience, kindness, and forgiveness, and understanding. I love you. Quantum hugs and kisses. Have a beautiful day dancing on this magical planet, and I'll see you in the next video, where we're going to talk about the God who created the first universe. 3 things you can do right now to help create heaven on earth. Like this video. It helps the algorithms share it with more people. Subscribe to this channel and share these messages with someone you know who could use some more hope, love, peace in their hearts,
and would like to experience a little heaven on earth today.